Good morning. Well, it's not morning. It's like 1 o'clock, I think. And I'm checking in with nothing done. I did eat a yogurt and I had 2 coffees, and I decided I better get up and do the dishes before Lige comes back so that he's convinced that when he's not here, the house is always clean. If you don't tell him, I will. Checking in with 20 minutes on my bike, struggling. Couldn't even see the camera. It's okay. Checking in with 20 minutes on my bike. Told you I was gonna get on, and I'm on. Look who made it outside. I'm out here attempting to do a 45-minute walk and checking in with, I think I already recorded it, but just in case I didn't, I already did 30 minutes on the bike, and I cleaned up before Lige came home. Hashtag winning. And so I was walking, and I said, I can't walk in the park and not have something to talk about. So I was thinking, let's talk about some of the lessons we learned. So when you think about life is really like, how do I want to put it? Okay, life is basically a whole bunch of little lessons built up to create bigger lessons. And it's up to you to learn the lesson or not. And I feel like when you don't learn the lesson, life is set up to give you another opportunity to show it that you've learned. So sometimes when a certain situation or circumstance repeats itself, there's something you missed the last time. I'm not gonna say you necessarily failed the test, but there's something that you missed. And it's just like when you do, okay, for example, when I went to nursing school and to get my license, I had to take a state test. And the computer was set up like, okay, if the person taking the test has gotten this type of question wrong, we're gonna give them a couple of more chances to get this type of question right. And it's like different filters set up. So if I kept getting this type of question wrong, eventually I could potentially just fail the test, or there's also other filters set up where we will give her at least this many tries to get enough right within the whole test. And I think when I took my test, you had to get 75 questions. Not necessarily right, but you had to answer enough within the 75 questions to pass the state exam. So life is kind of set up like that as well. I feel like some things just keep repeating itself because we're not getting that thing right. And then sometimes we just give up and we miss the lesson that could have been learned. A lot of us feel like we're behind, but I think that we only feel behind because according to our age, we haven't conquered enough lessons learned. So I don't feel behind, but I do think that sometimes according to the standards that I want for myself, I might not always hit the target. And that's fine, because that's why we got grading systems. It's not gonna always be straight A's. It's not gonna always be everybody's getting an A. And that's why you got, I think it's either a C or a C plus is passing. So technically, no matter what you do, if you could at least get a C or a C plus, you can pass. So when it comes to life, yes, we're gonna make mistakes, but as long as we are getting enough to learn to be able to move to the next level, we're winning. So we gotta look at it that way. Sometimes I think a lot of us, as I talk to so many people, a lot of us are just we are putting too much weight on every single lesson, not realizing that some of those lessons are smaller lessons and don't carry enough weight, or doesn't carry as much weight as another situation. So let's stop getting caught up on the little things, and let's focus on what we were able to learn, and we no longer need to revisit. Look at me, the camera's all over the place. We no longer need to revisit because we've learned our lesson. And some of us are willing to share the lessons that we learn, but it's hard because sometimes people judge you from the last time the lesson came, and they don't realize that you have been able to put 2 and 2 together to apply this new knowledge to therefore be successful at the end of the lesson. So just because people are judging what happened last time, you keep moving forward to what you now know that will yield you better results. I also, along with the lessons learned, at work, I'm always talking to my patients, and I love talking to the older ones, because guess what? If we don't talk to these older ones, how will we know what it's going to take? I mean, yes, time will evolve and some things they can't relate to, but a lot of these lessons that are coming up for us, they've already conquered it. So why not talk to them to see what we can do to either skip a lesson, or, you know, just make the lesson a little more tolerable because we're prepared. Intermission break. I thought it was going to rain today, and it didn't. And as you see, the sun is trying to come out, but it's fine. And that's another lesson. Stop relying on the weather, okay? Sometimes the weather is telling us the truth. Sometimes it ain't. Sometimes, yes, rain is coming, but until it comes, get outside. Do your best. Look how nice it is out here. And I'm not out here by myself, but it feels like I am. I'm definitely on this side by myself, and that's fine. There's a lot of kids on the other side, but you know, I'm just being grateful for all the lessons I've learned, and I try not to beat myself up over anything. And I've also learned when people come to you to say that you know, they're struggling, or they feel like, you know, the same thing keeps happening, or they keep making the same mistake, I don't even say I told you so anymore. Like I said, I can't lie. I used to say I told you. Now I just say, you know what? Lesson learned. How are we going to move forward? And it's so funny because every time I talk to somebody, I always say, how can we move forward? Like as if it's my problem too. And when I say, how can we move forward? I'm not taking on your problem. I'm just showing you that I am there as a support for you if you choose to move forward. Because some of us don't choose to move forward. But I just want us to be mindful of the decisions that we make, because they unlock the door to the next situation we got to go through. And if we treat it like it's almost like it's a video game. What is it? Super Mario Brothers? Y'all know I don't know much. But I remember you couldn't get to the princess till you conquered all those other levels. So, and you worked hard, and you called your friends, and you were like, what key? You know, which buttons do I gotta press? Is it A? Is it B? Is it X? O? Whatever it was. I don't even remember. But guess what? You're more willing to call a friend to ask them how to get to the next level in a video game, but you won't call and ask for help with this thing that we call life. So I'm telling y'all, if you need help, people are waiting for you to ask, because a lot of us have been spending our whole lives helping, and that burnt us out, because what we didn't realize was we're helping people who weren't ready for the help. And when you're helping somebody and they're not ready for the help, whoo, child, that's draining. So I've learned to either wait for them to ask me for the help, or maybe they don't even know that I could be a help. I will make a suggestion. Would you like me to help you with this? Or are you just talking? And sometimes they don't want your help. They just want to complain. And that's another lesson learned. We got to get rid of this victim mentality, because while you are holding on to, I'm a victim of this, that, and the other thing, you're never going to conquer. You're never going to conquer, because you keep placing blame on everybody and every other thing. And not to say that sometimes, yes, other people are the blame, but sometimes, guess what? We can take accountability for what we allow, because people do what we allow them to do. And that's just that. So I think that's all I got for this topic. I will see you guys in a couple of days. I'm trying to be more frequent with my video posting. But at the same time, I try to be genuine with my topic. So I don't want to be like scripted. But I still have a few more topics that I want to talk about. And my next topic will be like the difference between men and women, and either like how they take care of themselves or how they treat their health, and like going to the doctors and going for procedures. It's just very, very different. And it's not funny, but it's just funny to see how the majority of the men respond the same way and the majority of the women respond. So if that sounds like something you want to hear about, stay tuned. That'll probably be posted over the weekend. But that's all I got for you today. I feel like I've talked long enough. So until next time, continue to walk in integrity, continue to know your worth, so you can always walk in it. Take care.